Welcome to Love Talk with Pastor Troy Wynn Sr. What is Love Talk? Love Talk is where we talk about love. I've come to the conclusion that many of us enter into the realm of relationships with very little accurate information about love. We have even less accurate information about the opposite sex and what the opposite sex desires, and how the opposite sex determines whether or not love is real. So this is Love Talk. This is what we're going to do. We're going to talk about love because I believe that with a little information, a whole lot of understanding, I believe that we can experience better relationships. I believe that we can restore people's hope in relationships and definitely restore people's hope in love. Today, I want to share something with you, something I call S&S, not S&M. No, I call it S&S. You'll know what it means as we go through this moment in time where we share some information that I believe is going to be powerful. Today, I want to talk about men and women and how each of the prospective genders translates love. I know that what I define as love might be different from what you define as love, but I know that we all have some commonalities as it relates to our expectations, even more specifically when we break it down by genders. So I want to talk about women, I want to talk about men, and I want to just kind of volley back and forth between the subject of men and women and this thing called love. Here's what I know. For women, love in a relationship is internally driven by a high priority on an overall sense of security. That's what I know for sure. That for women, love equals security. Love equals security. When I talk about security, I'm talking about things like stability, harmony, intimacy. Well, that's the woman's side. When you look at women, I can tell you this, that when a woman is secure, she becomes one of the most amazing creatures on this planet. Simply because when she's secure, she's at her best. She's at her best in life when she feels secure that everything's going to be okay. And she's really at her best when she feels secure that your desire, my brother, your desire for her, your commitment for her, your commitment to her, and your intimate bond with her, don't miss this, cannot be easily broken. This is where the security really translates into love for most women. I've found that most women actually don't spell love L-O-V-E. No, not even close. Most women spell love S-E-C-U-R-I-T-Y. Most women spell love T-R-U-S-T. Most women spell love C-O-N-S-I-S-T-E-N-C-Y. Security, trust, and consistency. Now, men, we're different. And different is not bad. But it's important to note and denote and connotate that we are different, that men are different, and that women are different. And that understanding can be used to our advantage instead of it being used as some type of disadvantage. Now, men, we love differently. We translate love differently, but I want to share with women how we translate love so that both sides can get a clearer understanding of how women translate love, security, and how men translate love. And I'm really excited about this one because I'm not sure a lot of women understand this fully or may even know this because we do a great job of hiding this truth. But I'm going to expose the truth so that we all might experience more love, a greater love, more consistent love, more powerful love. For men, love in a relationship is internally driven by a high priority on an overall sense of significance. Women are driven internally by a high priority on an overall sense of security. But men, it's significance for us. We literally spell love Admiration, admiration. We also spell love IMPORTANCE, importance. Every man wants to feel ultra importance. But here is the major one, sisters, that I think can be advantageous to you. Men literally spell love PRAISE. Most men probably don't want to admit and probably don't even want it to be known. But if we don't make it known, how can we get this love that we desire? And the secret is out. The secret is out today because I'm sharing it that men spell love praise. We love to be praised. We love to be praised so much that we will show up for stuff that we don't even have anything to do with it in the hopes that we might get some praise for it. We just love praise. We love to be applauded. We love to be acknowledged. We love to be admired because the way we are wired, it gives us a tremendous sense of importance. See, this information should have been passed down from one generation to the next generation. Men should have told sons, and then their sons, when they became men, should have told sons, and women should have told daughters, and when their daughters became women, they told their daughters. But there's been a gap in the transference of this information, and now we have an entire world out here trying to cultivate relationships without this clear truth of what women perceive as love and what men perceive as love. And that's why oftentimes we're missing in our love interactions. We're missing in our love translations because what I'm looking for, you may not even know that that's what I desire. And because oftentimes men have our egos and we don't want to be seen as weak. We don't want to be seen as not strong. Sometimes we pull the plug on our communication skills. We pull the plug on our emotional presence, and we want the women to figure it out. And if she figures it out, then she's a keeper. If she figures it out, she's a winner. But sisters, before you clap too loud, you are just as guilty of the same thing. Because oftentimes you don't want to seem vulnerable. You don't want to seem thirsty. You don't want to seem weak. So you are waiting on Mr. Right to figure it out. And somebody told you, girl, if he can figure it out, he's the right one. Why don't we take the mystery out of love? That's why I think Love Talk is going to be real successful, because I believe it's going to help men and women get a clear understanding of love and what love really is and how love functions as it relates to a man and a woman and a woman and a man. Let's go back to the women for a few minutes, because I definitely want to talk a little bit more about women. I'm not through, brothers, with you, but I want to talk about women. And actually, I'm talking to men about women. So listen up, brothers. Let me tell you something else about women. Women are at their best. I know this to be a fact. When the man who claims he loves them scratches her itch for security. And I'm here to tell you that every woman, I'd be hard pressed to find a woman that doesn't, has an itch for security. They want to feel secure with a significant other. They want a man to be a man and be the one that just brings that atmosphere and that air of security. Here's what you got to recognize, brothers. Women are also at their worst when their security needs are ignored. And so many women have had their security needs ignored that some have created this external hard shell. It's really a defense mechanism to try to ensure and guarantee that they will never be hurt again, because they've been hurt before because their security needs were ignored. Women are also at their worst when their security needs are frowned upon. Yeah, doesn't go over too well when you don't understand a woman's need for security. That happens oftentimes, men, when we don't understand the woman's need for security, we label her as needy. And I understand that there are some needy people in this world. But you got to be careful that you don't mislabel. And I'm really big on mislabeling, because we do a lot of that because we lack understanding. We reach for the easiest label that we have. And oftentimes we will label someone, brothers, we'll label a woman as needy when really she's not needy. She simply has the need to feel secure, which is normal and which is natural. Now, I want to give you all the tools, man, because I want to see you succeed in the world of love. I want to see you succeed as you deal with women. And here's a beautiful, powerful tool. She flourishes. And I believe that you want to know how she flourishes and what makes her bloom and what makes her blossom. She flourishes when you consistently demonstrate that it's safe for her to trust you. And don't miss this. This is a big one, guys. Not only trust you, but trust what you say. This is a huge one for women. Reason being, women have been lied to so much in relationships by men that, again, there is this natural distrust that really has to be proven wrong before she can trust. This is rich. And this is not a negative that should cause any man to say, well, I don't want to deal with a woman that's like that. Well, brother, good luck, because the vast majority of women have been lied to by men. They've been lied to by men. And if that happens over and over and over again, your natural instinct is going to kick in. It's called self-preservation. It's called self-protection. But that's not an obstacle that cannot be overcome when you have knowledge. Here's the knowledge. She flourishes. She blooms. Oh my God. She can become the most amazing woman you have ever encountered when you, my brother, consistently, here's the word, demonstrate that it is safe for her to trust you and to trust what you say. That's accomplished by being a man of your word. That's accomplished by telling the truth and not lying. That's accomplished by allowing her to be herself without penalty, to be herself without judgment. For her to be able to show you who she really is, she has to be allowed that freedom, and you in return should be allowed the same freedom to show who you are. And it's in that environment that love has the greatest possibility to culminate. Now, I want to tell you something, men, about the power of your words. And we know that our words have power as men, but I want every man to listen very closely as I talk about male-female relationships and I talk about how we translate love. One of the things that's really important for men to understand is that your words can woo her or wound her, all based on your consistency. Now, your words can woo her, which usually is what happens in the beginning of any relationship. If the brother is, good with the words, he can make a woo, woo, woo. Can you woo, woo, woo? Yeah, I'm sorry about that. He can make a woo, and that woo is good. You want to woo her, but here's the thing you need to understand. If you're not careful, you can go from wooing her to wounding her simply because your words, your actions, your behaviors was not consistent. And it all begins with your words being consistent, being reliable, being trustworthy. The more she becomes confident, and here's where I want to empower men. Her confidence is your asset. Good God Almighty. When a woman is confident, woo, boy, you got something on your hands, something good. I'm telling you now, when a woman is confident, here's the mistake that a lot of men make. We want to find the woman that is full of confidence. We want to find the woman that is exuding confidence at her highest level. Gentlemen, I know that's wonderful to discover and find, but you need to recognize that may not be what you want. I believe it is best to find a woman who is confident, but a woman who can show you a whole nother level of confidence that you can trigger once you convince her that you aren't going to discard her for someone else. See, when a woman feels confident that you aren't going to discard her for someone else, brothers, let me bless you. That woman is a woman who becomes more relaxed. See, here's what you need to know. The more she relaxes and the more she releases, the more you're going to see her confidence rise to the top. And here's what I want you to know. You want her to be able to be more confident because of you, not less confident because of you. When she relaxes and releases her self-protective guard. When that self-protective guard is lowered and that self-protective guard is released, then you, my brother, will have access to one of the most amazing women on this planet. Accept the challenge to be a man who keeps his word. Accept the challenge to be a man who does not fit any stereotypes that she may have experienced. Here's what I know about women. Brothers, listen to me. They literally hold their proverbial breath until they feel safe and secure when you're around. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I know she's smiling in the beginning and she's giving, conversation and she's being cordial, but I promise you, there's a proverbial breath that she's holding because in the back of her mind, she's wondering, how long is it going to be before he's going to lie to me? I wonder, am I going to be able to trust him? And I believe that time tells the truth on everybody. That's why I tell people you don't have to rush a relationship. Let time work its magic. Here's what you need to know, brother, that she's holding that proverbial breath until she feels safe and secure when you're around. She's literally waiting to exhale. Here's what you want to know, brother. If you can be the man that allows her to exhale, winner, winner, chicken dinner. I'm trying to tell you, brother, you will find out that you have hit the lottery and the jackpot. See, we as men, on the flip side, ladies, let me tell you about men. We feel deeply significant when we feel certain that we have your respect, your admiration, and your appreciation. That's just the way we're wired. You can get a man to carry 100 grocery bags if you just clap for him and say, Hercules, Hercules, Hercules. He might be struggling to get them all on one trip. But if you're encouraging him and you're saying, oh, I know you got it. You got this, baby. Oh, look at my man. Y'all look at my man. Look how strong he is. That man will near about hurt himself. Why? Because we are wired by the Almighty God to respond to respect, admiration, and appreciation. Why? Because it gives us the love that we translate as being significant. Here's what I want to tell men and women as I get ready to close on this love talk. Men, I want to tell you, give your woman what she needs. Women, I want to tell you something as I get ready to close this love talk. Women, give your man what he needs. I'm not talking about sex. There are a whole lot of folks giving sex. And then when that runs out, they got to find somebody else to give sex to again. Then when that runs out, they got to find somebody else to give sex to. Let me tell you something. Sex is a wonderful thing created by God, but you cannot build a relationship on sex. You cannot build a marriage on sex. There has to be substance that will allow two people to weather the storm, two people to stay together when times get rough, two people to have that security and that significance with each other and in each other. And I'm giving you some major keys today that when both needs are met, men and women, listen to what I'm teaching you. When both needs are met, security and significance form a bond that is not easily broken. When both needs are met, the woman's need for security, the man's need for significance, when those two are met, you're talking about an epic explosion of love that is amazing and that will stand the test of time. Security and significance. And that's what I call SNS. Listen, I hope you've enjoyed this session of Love Talk with Pastor Troy Wynn Sr. If you have, leave a comment. Let me know. I have all of these different things in my mind, in my heart, my spirit that I want to do. And during this COVID-19, I am taking the initiative to serve, give, because I believe if you can help enough people get what they want, then God will make sure that you get what you want. That's my goal in life. And I believe, beyond a shadow of a doubt, I believe that this little love talk that we've had, it's going to make a difference. I hope that it will start a conversation between men and women, not on the past failures and past mistakes that we've made in the realm of love, but on what can we do going forward to love each other in a way that is fulfilling, in a way that is satisfying, in a way that pleases God. I think a good place to start would be S&S, security and significance. This has been Love Talk with Pastor Troy Wynn Sr.